If you're standing in Costco right now staring at that wall of glowing TVs, this video might save you from a mistake you'll live with for the next decade. Because the most dangerous thing about buying a TV at Costco isn't the price, it's the confidence. Everything looks safe, clean, organized, trusted. You see familiar brands, you see big boxes, you see prices ending in N9, and your brain quietly says Costco wouldn't sell bad TVs. That's where the problem begins. Let's be honest about what really happens in the Costco electronics section. You don't shop there, you survive it. Bright screens everywhere. 10 different technologies screaming for attention. OLED, QLED, Mini LED, Neo QLED, Bravia, AI, this, quantum that. After 5 minutes, your brain is fried. And when that happens, people don't make smart decisions. They make comfort decisions. They grab the biggest screen they can fit in the car from the brand they recognize the most and hope for the best. Don't do that. Don't. Because buying the wrong TV isn't like buying the wrong toaster. You don't notice it once and move on. You stare at it every night for years. Here's the uncomfortable truth most videos won't tell you. Most TVs at Costco look amazing for 5 minutes. That's what they're designed to do. They're tuned for showroom lighting, looped demo footage, perfect conditions. But what matters isn't how a TV looks in 2017. It's how it behaves after 18 months of updates, ads, apps, and background processes in your living room. That's where the real differences start to show. We've been getting the same message again and again from viewers. It always starts the same way. Loved it at first. Looked incredible out of the box. Best picture I've ever owned. And then menus slow down, apps freeze, inputs lag. The TV needs rebooting more often. Nothing is technically broken, but nothing feels right anymore. That's not bad luck. That's how modern TVs fail. Quietly, gradually, just slow enough that you blame Wi-Fi, not the TV. So, in this video, we're doing something different. We're not ranking TVs by how good they look today. We're ranking them by how well they age, which ones stay fast, which ones stay stable, which ones still feel good to use years after the excitement wears off. And yes, we're doing this specifically for Costco shoppers because Costco's lineup has some incredible values and some very expensive long-term mistakes. One viewer told us this: I bought a TV at Costco because I trusted the return policy, but by the time the problem showed up, it was too late to return. That's the trap. Most TVs don't fail inside the return window. They fail right after it closes. So before we talk about models, brands, or sizes, you need to understand one thing. There is no single best TV at Costco. There is only the best TV for your room, your usage, and how long you plan to live with it. And if you ignore that, you'll end up with a screen that looked incredible on day one and slowly became the most frustrating object in your house. Now that we've cleared the noise, we can finally do what Costco doesn't help you do. Separate marketing winners from ownership winners. And we're starting at the very top with the TVs that deliver stunning picture quality without turning into a problem later. LG G5 Series OLED, the no-compromise movie screen. Let's start at the very top. The LG G5 is one of the best-looking TVs Costco sells. There's no debate there. This is what OLED does better than anything else. When a scene goes dark, the screen doesn't glow. It disappears. Black isn't dark gray, it's nothing. That alone changes how movies look. Shadow detail, contrast, depth, everything feels more dimensional. LG has also pushed brightness much higher than older OLEDs. HDR highlights finally pop in a way they couldn't 5 years ago. That matters for modern movies and streaming content. But here's what buyers need to understand before choosing this TV. This model is designed first and foremost to be wall-mounted. It's thin, extremely thin. It looks like a framed piece of art when mounted correctly. If you plan to put this on a stand, you are paying for a design advantage you won't use. Now let's talk real-world usage. This TV shines in dedicated movie rooms, evening viewing, controlled lighting environments. If you mostly watch movies at night and care about cinematic presentation, this TV is exceptional. But if your living room has windows, reflections, or daytime viewing, you may not be using this TV at its full potential. This is a premium TV for a very specific buyer. If that buyer is you, it's incredible. If not, it can feel like overkill. Samsung S95 OLED, The color and gaming powerhouse, Samsung's flagship OLED takes a different approach. Instead of chasing pure cinematic neutrality, this TV goes for impact. Colors are intense. Bright scenes explode off the screen. HDR content looks aggressive and vivid. This is the kind of TV that immediately grabs attention in a showroom. Samsung's QD-LE technology avoids some of the color limitations of traditional OLED panels, especially at higher brightness levels. For gaming, this TV is outstanding. High refresh rates, extremely low input lag, smooth motion. If you are a serious gamer, this is one of the strongest displays Costco carries. But there is a trade-off. Some viewers find this TV less natural for movies. Skin tones can look slightly more processed. Colors are punchier than real life. If you want your movies to look exactly like a cinema screen, you may notice this. This TV is best for gamers, people who like vibrant, high-impact images, mixed lighting rooms. If you want accuracy above all else, this may not be your first choice. Sony Bravia 8. OLED the movie purist TV. Sony plays a different game. They don't chase brightness numbers or flashy demo effects. They focus on processing. This TV excels at making content look natural. Faces have depth. Skin texture looks real. Shadows are smooth without crushing detail. Sony's processor does an incredible job with lower quality content as well. Old movies, cable TV, streaming shows, everything looks more refined. This is one of the best TVs at Costco for people who actually watch movies, not just demo clips. But there are two things buyers should know. First, the price is high. You are paying for processing, not specs. Second, the smart interface is not the fastest on the wall. It's stable, it's polished, but it doesn't feel as snappy as some competitors. This is the TV you buy if movies matter more than menus. LG C5 Series OLED, the smart OLED buy for most people. This is where value and performance finally align. The LG C5 delivers nearly everything that makes the G5 great. Without the niche design focus, you still get perfect OLED blacks, excellent color accuracy, strong gaming support, full HDMI 2.1 on all ports, but you get it in a more practical package. This TV sits comfortably on a stand. It works well in normal living rooms. It handles mixed content beautifully. For most buyers who want OLED, this is the safest and smartest choice. It doesn't chase extremes, it doesn't demand perfect conditions. It just works. If you want one OLED TV that does movies, sports, and gaming extremely well without drama, this is it. Hisense U8N, the bright room monster. Now, let's talk about the TV many people should buy instead of OLED. The Hisense U8N is built for brightness and not just a little brighter. This TV is aggressively bright. If your living room gets sunlight, reflections, or daytime viewing, this TV doesn't flinch. Mini LED backlighting allows it to control contrast far better than older LED TVs. Black levels aren't OLED level, but they're close enough that most viewers won't care. Sports look fantastic. Daytime TV looks punchy. HDR highlights cut through glare, and the value is undeniable. This TV delivers performance that competes with much more expensive models. For bright rooms, this is one of the best TVs Costco sells. TCL QM8K, the quiet value killer. This is one of the most underrated TVs in the warehouse. The TCL QM8K uses mini LED technology with very strong local dimming. It delivers deep contrast, strong brightness, and surprisingly good motion handling. It's not trying to be flashy. It's trying to be competent everywhere. Gaming performance is solid. Movies look cinematic. HDR content pops. Where this TV really wins is price to performance. For many buyers, this TV offers a better long-term experience than more expensive models that rely heavily on software tricks. This is a TV for people who want strong performance without paying for branding. Samsung QN90F, the safe premium option. If you want a premium TV from a major brand and don't want OLED, this is the one. Samsung's Neo QLED technology delivers excellent brightness and contrast. This TV works in any lighting condition. Sports look clean, motion is smooth, colors are vibrant. It doesn't demand special conditions or adjustments. This is a very safe choice for families, sports fans, and everyday viewing. It may not wow movie purists the way OLED does, but it rarely disappoints. TCL QM7K, big screen without big regret. Size matters, and TCL understands that better than most. The QM7K allows buyers to go big without destroying their budget. This TV isn't perfect, but it doesn't pretend to be. You get large screen sizes, solid HDR, decent contrast, good brightness. For movie nights, sports parties, and immersive viewing, size often matters more than technical perfection. This TV delivers that experience at a price that makes sense. TCL QM6K Pro, the realistic upgrade. This TV exists for one reason: to replace old tired TVs without overspending. If you're coming from an older 1080p or early 4K TV, this feels like a massive upgrade. Better brightness, better color, modern smart platform. It's not flashy, but it's honest. This is where a lot of Costco buyers should actually start. Hisense U7N. Budget gaming and all-around value. The Hisense U7N punches above its price class. High refresh rate support, HDMI 2.1, good brightness. For gamers on a budget, this is an easy recommendation. It handles movies, streaming, and gaming without major compromises. This is a practical TV for real households. This is where most people get it wrong. They don't buy the wrong TV because it's bad. They buy the wrong TV because it doesn't match their life. So instead of throwing more models at you, let's break this down the way Costco never does by real households. If your living room is bright, stop chasing OLED. This is the biggest mistake buyers make. They hear OLED is the best, and they stop thinking. But here's the reality. If your room has large windows, daylight viewing, reflections, no blackout curtains, OLED is not working at full strength. Yes, modern OLEDs are brighter than before, but brightness isn't the real issue. Consistency is. In bright rooms, OLED loses its biggest advantage: contrast dominance. That's where many LED TVs quietly win. Models like the Hisense U8N or TCL QM8K don't just survive sunlight, they cut through it. Sports look clearer. Daytime TV feels punchier, HDR doesn't wash out. For most bright living rooms, these TVs feel better every single day than an OLED that only shines at night. This is one of the hardest pills for buyers to swallow, but it saves a lot of regret. If you watch movies at night, OLED finally makes sense. Now, flip the situation. Controlled lighting, evening viewing. Movies over background TV. This is where OLED earns its reputation. Black scenes disappear instead of glowing. Shadow detail stays intact. Contrast becomes the experience. This is where models like the LG C series and Sony OLEDs feel special. But even here, there's a trap. You don't need the most expensive OLED to get the benefit. Most people cannot tell the difference between a flagship OLED and a step-down model during real content. What they do notice is price, practicality, stress over placement, and lighting. That's why mid-tier OIDs often age better emotionally than the absolute top models. If you watch sports, motion matters more than black levels. Sports expose TVS faster than movies. Fast camera pans, bright uniforms, crowded backgrounds. This is where motion handling and brightness beat contrast specs. Many LED TVs with strong processing often outperform OLEDs here. Why? Because brightness keeps the image clear. Motion interpolation works better. No concern about static logos. If your TV spends weekends on football, hockey, or basketball, a bright mini LED often feels more satisfying long-term. This is where many buyers accidentally overpay for OLED and never fully enjoy it. If you game, spec sheets don't tell the whole story. Gaming TVs are sold on numbers: 120 Hz, 144 Hz, VRR, RHDMI 2.1. But here's what actually matters during ownership: input lag consistency, UI responsiveness, stability after updates. Some TVS benchmark beautifully on day one and slowly degrade as software gets heavier. Gamers notice this faster than anyone. That's why TVS with strong processing headroom and stable platforms age better than max spec panels built to hit numbers. If gaming is a major use case, reliability beats theoretical performance. If this is your main family TV, stability wins. This is the most overlooked category: the TV that's always on. News, streaming, background noise, kids, guests. This TV doesn't need perfection. It needs to turn on fast, switch input smoothly, never feel sluggish. This is where some premium TVs actually disappoint. Too much software, too many features, too much going on in the background. Mid-range, well-balanced TVs often win here because they're simpler and less stressed. This is why some people love their boring TV more than their expensive one, the most dangerous mindset at Costco. Here's the thought that causes the most regret. I'll just get the best one. Best for what? Best in a demo loop, best on paper, best for a reviewer's studio, or best for your couch, your lighting, your habits. Costco's wall of TVs makes everything look equal. They're not, and the differences don't show up in 5 minutes. They show up after a year. Why return policies don't save you? This matters. Most TVs don't fail inside return windows. They don't break. They decay. Menus slow down. Apps stutter. Updates feel heavier. Nothing dramatic enough to return, but enough to annoy you every day. By the time frustration peaks, the window is closed. That's not accidental. The NextGen picks rule. Buy the TV that matches how you live today and still feels comfortable 3 years from now, not the one that impresses you for 10 minutes. Because the best TV at Costco isn't the brightest or the thinnest or the most expensive. It's the one you stop thinking about because it just works. Now that you understand how room lighting, usage, and long-term behavior matter, it's time to make this painfully clear. Not every TV at Costco is a smart buy, even if the price looks good, even if the brand feels safe. So, let's finish this the way Costco never does, with clear answers. The safest TVs to buy at Costco right now. These are the TVs that most people will be happiest with long-term. Not the flashiest, not the most hyped, the ones that quietly work. If you want OLED and don't want drama, the safest choice is the LG C-Series OLED. It delivers the core OLED experience without forcing you into niche usage. It works in real living rooms. It handles movies, sports, and gaming well. It doesn't demand perfect conditions. For most buyers who want OLED, this is the smart ceiling, not the top of the wall, the top of reason. If your room is bright, the safest bets are mini LED models like the Heinz U8N or TCL QM8K. These TVs don't fight your environment. They embrace it. They stay visible during the day. They make sports and streaming enjoyable without babysitting settings. They age well because brightness headroom gives them breathing room. For most daytime households, these TVs feel better every single day than OLED. If you want a premium TV that just works in any situation, Samsung's high-end Neo QLED models are among the safest. They don't chase extremes. They're balanced. They're consistent. You may not get perfect blacks like OLED, but you get reliability and versatility, which most families value more than perfection. The TVs that are risky for most buyers. These are not bad TVs, they're just bad fits for how most people actually live. Top-tier OLEDs designed for wall mounting and perfect lighting are risky if your room is bright. You watch a lot of daytime TV. You don't plan to mount perfectly. These TVs shine in ideal setups and disappoint quietly outside of them. They're incredible for the right buyer, but most Costco shoppers are not that buyer. Ultra-hyped gaming TVs can also be risky. They look amazing on paper. They test incredibly well on day one, but over time, heavy software, updates, and background services can make them feel slower than expected. If gaming is not your primary use, you may be paying for performance you never fully use while accepting compromises you didn't expect. The TVs you should think twice about. Even if the deal looks good, this is where most regret lives. Entry-level TVs with big screens and aggressive pricing. They look like incredible deals. They fill the wall, they impress at first glance, but they often cut corners in processing power, long-term responsiveness, update headroom. These TVs don't usually fail fast. They age fast. And that's worse because by the time frustration sets in, you're past the return window. Another category to be cautious with is refresh models. Same name, new year, different internals. They often look identical to last year's version, but behave differently over time. Unless a model has real-world feedback behind it, buying the newest revision can be a gamble. Why most people blame the wrong thing. When a TV starts feeling slow, people blame Wi-Fi, streaming apps, remotes, updates. Very few blame the TV itself. That's why so many bad purchases go unrecognized. Nothing breaks. It just becomes annoying. That's the most expensive kind of failure because it follows you every night. The one question you should ask before buying, not how good does it look. Ask this instead. How will this feel after I stop being excited about it? Because excitement fades fast. Friction doesn't. The NextGen picks bottom line. Costco sells some excellent TVs. It also sells TVs that look great for 5 minutes and frustrate you for 5 years. The wall doesn't tell you that. Specs don't tell you that. Only ownership tells you that. The best TV at Costco is not the most expensive. It's not the brightest. It's not the biggest. It's the one that fits your room, your habits, and your patience. Choose that, and your TV becomes invisible. Choose wrong, and it becomes the thing you complain about every night. If this video saved you from making the wrong choice or helped you understand why your current TV feels the way it does, that's exactly why this channel exists. At NextGen Picks, we don't chase hype. We chase decisions you won't regret. Spend smart and your living room will thank.